right, in 5, 4, 3,
Cheap flights.
Cornbread.
How's it going, everyone? This is Frank Cavone, the Cheap Flights and Cornbread podcast.
Can you believe it, dude? We made it to episode 38 of the Cheap Flights and Cornbread podcast. We have overcome adversity to make it this far.
Yes,
We've
we have.
overcome fans, microphones, fans of microphones, and everything in between. Beer vendors, door dashers, breaking in the middle of a live setup, scaring the shit out of me. Frankie, how did you feel about being invaded by a door dasher, confusing us with the Putnam market?
I personally felt almost obligated to receive the food because you already presented it. You got one of the names of the restaurants, right? So, hey, we almost got our free DoorDash today.
And that is like, of the two, that is the more important word. Because think about it, Putnam, you think Putnam, you can only think of two places in beautiful downtown Saratoga. Place or market.
And I don't even know about Putnam Market, so I'm going to go with the most beautiful one out of the two. And we are here live, kinda. We're here for episode 38 of the Cheap Flights and Cornbread podcast. Thank you all again for tuning in. As all of you know, you can watch and listen to the Cheap Flights and Cornbread podcast on iTunes, on Spotify, on SoundCloud. You can watch it as we premiere it every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. on the Mirth Films YouTube channel. And if you go subscribe, that would help us out. And if you tell us you subscribed and you see us in person, we'll give you a free sticker. But we got just a home, a hometown crowd episode. It's just the Mirth guys today. We have no guests on. Doug's out in Mammoth, California, filming some snowboarding, out with Scott Boss Hog, and we send our love out to the West Coast, even though the East Coast is the best coast. But
better rap, better food, better pizza.
Papa John's.
Papa John's.
So, how's your week been, man?
Dude, it's been, I don't really remember much, to be honest. The last time that I had the honor to be sitting here at the Putnam Place, I was in the middle of a fast, and at that point in time, I was about 12 hours in, and I just felt like shit. The reason I decided to do it, and to those of you who watched last week, maybe I said it, maybe I didn't, because I was actively hallucinating amidst that podcast. My fiance bought this, so there's Peloton, and then there's like the knockoff, Echelon.
Okay.
And she is doing like these hardcore fucking spin classes. And I have been, like my health changes have been mostly sticking to light beer. So I was like, I used to fast a lot in college. Maybe dust this whole trick off, see if it helps at all. And 36 hours of not eating fucking blows.
I believe it. Well, hey, it sounds like you're training for bicycle day because you guys got a knockoff Peloton, 419 is coming up, and he's experienced hallucinations from not eating food. What does that mean? It's going to be a good time, everybody.
Yeah. Please, Frankie, fill everyone in to those who don't know Bicycle Day. Bicycle
Day is the day that you should go look up on Google.
Yes.
With your parents' help. Thank you, Harry Lee Oswald. I think that's his name, right?
No, I think that's the guy who killed Kennedy.
I don't know. Damn it,
dude! We're batting 1,000 today. We've only had
to. I didn't say that.
We've only had to swap out 2 microphones. We are fighting with the resident fan, our biggest fan, actually, at least on a technical sense.
It is, but we have so much to talk about today,
dude.
And I'm excited to talk about it. And the fan. And these mics ain't gonna stop us.
Goddamn right.
And it's been kind of a mellow week. When I do a big job like Mo, it is something that takes a lot of energy out of me following the show because it's a lot of editing, and so when that happens, I personally get thrown off, and it kind of rocks me. So like I kind of spent the first half of the week, organizing myself, trying to get my wheels back, and other than that, went and picked up a brand new lens, Canon 14-35 RF L lens for the new Canon mirrorless system. It's my first RF lens that I've ever purchased, and I'm really excited to try it. And so expect a review from that coming soon.
Dude, that's some exciting stuff, man.
It is.
Dude, full price for that. That's got to be what, like 16? Something crazy like that?
It is. It's like $1,699 for the lens. I got it for $850 because a guy at Best Buy thought the lens was going to be discontinued, but little did he know I nerd out over this shit. And while I would love to have proved him wrong, I also did want the lens at a discount of $850. So that's what I did, and I shut my mouth for once, and it worked. And so it was nice, and I have still yet to use the lens. I literally just purchased it last night, and I tried to get some good iris shots. Wasn't really working because she wasn't really having it. She was hungry, she wanted some charcuterie, and we were all out of charcuterie. Yes, my dog will sometimes have charcuterie, and that's okay. It's been a long time since she's had a Slim Jim, and she's moved up in the world just like us.
Dude,
you know?
Listen, I think that the average person sleeps on how good a good charcuterie board can be. Like, it's, and depending on who you get it from, who does it, Lord knows you could find 37 people on Facebook Marketplace who have their own version of it. But there's something about the combination of like meat, cheese, and like cookies and other weird like just things all together. It can turn, like, if I was working at one of those shitty corporate places that offered, instead of raises, pizza parties, I would feel almost more inclined to stay if they did a charcuterie party.
Seriously, I think that's showing a little level of respect. Like, and now I personally hold charcuterie up there with Reuben's. I have to have charcuterie in my house all the time. I don't go for the expensive stuff, but if I do recommend a good cheese, it is Cabot, seriously sharp Vermont cheddar, good stuff. Worth the extra bucks, and if you're trying to save some money, definitely go with the New York Sharp from Hannaford. Definitely really good. So, but yes, this is a music podcast, but we do have, we are humans. We do like things other than music. So,
like charcuterie and sharp cheddar.
I think a good conversation today that we could have is just about some turning of the leaves here that we got happening with Mirth Films. Across the music industry. I think there's a lot of new and exciting things that are going to be happening and changing the landscape of what we do and how we do it. But before we do that, I do have to make some plugs here. First off, Brett and I we were at Mo with Chris Enzik recording some music, and we did happen to catch Karina Reichman, so please go check out our full set in multicam on the Mirth Films YouTube channel. Also, we did also have an interview with Shane Spillinger, who is the owner of Ninola. He is the guy behind Pearl Palooza. His family, his legacy have been a huge impact on this area, from owning the Bayou Cafe to Jillian's to other exciting and incredible events. And I want to tip my hat to Shane because Shane just put on the Starry Night Van Gogh experience with Gratefully Yours, combining Grateful Dead and combining Van Gogh art on displayed on the walls. I think that's a pretty cool concept when you're talking about psychedelics and you're talking about psychedelic art. So
yeah,
it goes hand in hand.
A lot of people showed up on their bicycles.
Yes, they did, and they didn't even eat before they came. It's fucking crazy. But yeah, I just gotta say. And I don't know. I think this is a very important topic right now to talk about, at least in the landscape of what we do. And to me, it is about morals and ethics. That is the conversation.
Love the fact
today.
You are looking at me to become the leader that the people need on morals and ethics.
Well, you are the guy with the suit today. So I just want to bring up, I don't know, I just think that, like, if you are out, you're shooting photography, you are a sound guy doing sound, whatever it may be, it's very important to just make sure that, you gain your experience and then you try to take that experience and take it somewhere else and don't get comfortable, because it's very easy to get comfortable and it is very easy to get taken advantage of.
I agree. I agree with that a lot. Obviously, what our career paths have been like post the Plattsburgh experience have been vastly different. But I think the one thing I keep in the back of my mind, I wouldn't call it an ethics or a moral thing, but like that thing I keep near and dear to my heart, other than my pack of cigarettes, is every time I do this, every time that I have a reason to film shit out in the wild, I really try to remind myself how awesome it is that I get to do this and that I get to make something out of it. Like that, I think that's something that the industry is currently lacking a lot of right now. I think that a lot of people are so caught up in the inner workings of this industry that they forget to demonstrate any form of gratitude for the fact that, like, think about people. There's people we went to college with who, dude, they're probably going to be sitting at a cubicle until they're fucking 59, waiting to collect Social Security, and they're going to stare at a computer screen every single day until their eyes bleed or they just fucking jump off the 30th story building of their shitty, mundane, meaningless office space existence. Our office changes every day.
It does.
I have, granted, as I said, way different levels of experience, but we've both got to shoot crazy things and see things that the average person hasn't or has only thought of. Like the access we have gotten to shoot like world touring bands, like I don't know, Mo.
Yeah.
Is something that, I don't know, dude, it's surreal. It's surreal that I'm kind of literally living the dream, and it's something that even when I am an arrogant fuck because my emotions are not in check by any means, I'm still thankful for the fact that whatever it was the universe had in store for me panned out to this. And I think that's something that a lot of people in the industry that we're all in could use a casual reminder of.
Absolutely, and I also completely agree with that. I think that a big thing also is that, as you know, somebody who like ourselves who are in charge of running a publication and outlet to serve other people, I think it's very important. Like you said, we are very lucky to have the privilege to be in a photo pit. Yes, it's work. Yes, it's we're taking time out of our day to go do this, but at the same time, we worked our ass off to get to this moment.
Yeah.
Now, for that reason, I believe that you need to pay back, and I believe that's important because you need to show the next guy in line how awesome this fucking thing is and why you should be a part of it, and be able to allow the flexibility and the and be able to trust somebody to go out and do what you want them to do. But they're gaining something from it, you know. Like, I myself, as an owner of Mirth Films, could never gatekeep somebody from doing something that they're really looking forward to do, but because I don't want them to, or whatever reason, I'm not going to allow them to do it. I think that's something that really needs to go away. Just like unpaid internships, I think it's bullshit, and I think it's bullshit because it's actual real work, you know.
Yeah.
Like, and yes, I believe that you do have to do free work to get yourself ahead. You do have to do those photo jobs of your friend's band that are playing the local bar right around your corner of your house, and you have to go help your parents or your family members' friends who need their baby pictures, whatever it is, you know. Yeah. You got to do that thing. You got to eat shit, yeah. But you can only eat so much shit before it becomes shit. And I hate seeing photographers and my peers getting treated and disrespected and not being taken care of, especially when they're going out and doing this stuff with their own free will, their own free time, and I'm sure they have their own families and their own bullshit to worry about. So I think it's a very important conversation to have, you know, at least once or twice a year, because this is such a gray area type of field where you can be taken advantage of very easily, and I can assure you that's something we will literally give the shirts off our back before we take for ourselves. I mean, everything we try to do is to serve others, and I personally, I don't know. I know how much I love this stuff, and I would never ever want to see somebody get discouraged because of the way they've been treated, number one, or they've been held from the abilities that they have to do great things. And I think that's just a crack of shit. Yeah. So
no, I agree.
I just had to bring that up.
Yeah, anyone who is in a position of power in any form of, and especially since the dawn of digital-oriented media, the amount of opportunities that exist to get your foot in somewhere and start building your portfolio and start building your credibility and your talent is unfucking believable. It's honestly probably, in the course of digital media, it's the best time to get started, and it's only going to get better.
Really
because
is.
as long as the age of the internet is still here, and as long as information still travels around the world, we're always going to need people to cover it, whether it's picture, video, even print. Even if, like, dude, how many articles do we write? A lot.
Shit ton.
Or at least enough.
Yeah.
But point being is that the last thing that anyone in a position of power in this industry needs is to create barriers to entry.
Yeah. And you see it at all different types. You see it at the local level, unfortunately. But you see it more often in the corporate level. And I've noticed this, and it just becomes a thing as time goes on, and it's just where our society is moving, if you like it or not. But you know, if you look at a lot of the higher level jam band like tiers, other bands, you know, other genres of music, the circuits that once you hit a certain level, a lot of that is just a lot of it's all ran by, you know, corporate companies who are running like 4 or 5 festivals.
Yeah.
They're planning and structurizing their plans and who they're gonna have.
Yeah, and managing 35 plus fucking bands.
Yeah, I mean, for those who you know, can't see it for themselves, and I'm not just gonna say it because I like all the bands, but yeah, it just recently happened. A band got prioritized over other bands in level of requirements and needs, and it hurt the other bands. So also, if you are a leader, if you are somebody who is juggling multiple things, wearing many different hats, don't make false promises, and also don't overpromise in general, because you're gonna if you promise everybody you're gonna help them, somebody's gonna get hurt because you can't do it. I've done it plenty of times. I'm the fucking king at taking on too much fucking work. I can tell you right now, it ain't gonna help you get further in your career by doing more. It's about doing it smart, and that's why, like, even with our podcast, we took a step back. We took a step back with a lot of things. And we had to look at a lot of things and evaluate what was worth it. You know, what was this worth it? Was this worth it? You know, we're spending all of our time each and every single week doing this shit because we love you guys and because we love what we do. But we want to make it worth it for ourselves. So while in the past we were a quantity game, you know, we are trying to be a quality game. And if that means less but better content, then that's cool. I'm not going to regurgitate a bunch of shit that you can see on other publications. We are just trying to do what we like doing, serve others, and we're not trying to go against the grain. It's just
but
if this is how we're spending our time,
but we're trying to be
like.
We're trying to be us. We're trying to be our. I mean, granted, like, let's be real. Anyone who is on camera ever, as soon as that lens is pointed on this face, everyone puts on a facade. The Brett Porter you talk to off camera is different than the Brett Porter you're listening to right now. And I think that is just, maybe that's a psychological thing. I don't know. But the point being is, even when we are in this position where we are sometimes an exaggerated version of ourselves, we are still delivering honest and heartfelt content. And it's still coming from a good place. And at the end of the day, no one will ever confuse us with another outlet.
No.
No one will ever think of us as, oh, you guys are just like, no, because we're not the next that. We're the first of fucking us. We are the first fucking Mirth Films.
Yeah, we are the first Mirth Films.
We should probably censor one of those F words.
That's all right. Yeah. No, and that's the thing. Like, we have a lot of pride in what we do because, I mean, at least for my, and you can tell me what you get out of this. But for me, what I get out of this is I get to hang out with the people I like hanging out with. I get to associate with some of my idols, and I feel good after, I'm not gonna say I feel good after going to a local concert and helping out another band. It's not why I'm in it. I love fucking photography. I'm an addict, but I know that photography is gonna help them more than a national touring act. Like, I'm not gonna go fucking shoot, Mastodon when Glass Pony's playing around the corner and to them, that's everything. You know, they appreciate it more. So like we do this because, or I do this because I like being a part of something bigger than what I'm doing. Like, and I believe that the music scene is a great community here in the Capital Region, and it's very easy to become buddy with a lot of people as long as you're not an asshole. And if you're an asshole, just hide it. You know, like nothing hurts being nice. Follow the fucking golden rule. Like, how hard is that? Fucking, I'm sorry. I'm really fucking flared today, man.
What we were trying to tell you this whole time, and we were struggling to find the exact words for it, was for the second time in the last 4 podcasts, we've brought back the Rant Cam. This episode is entirely just one giant Rant Cam, and we appreciate you guys joining us for it. I'm mad because I didn't sleep last night. I'm mad because this industry is fucking weird. I'm mad because I still have to come up with another $23,000 for a wedding. That's not the industry's fault. That is not the industry's fault. I am very fortunate that I locked down a damn good photographer and a fucking class act, world star, skateboarding masterpiece. Aficionado in Chris Senzik, and a photographer in Ramon Sanchez. And, dude, the coolest DJs I've ever met. Like, these guys, and granted, I feel like I always find a way to talk about my wedding because, well, moments like this when I think that this thing that we don't know what we're exactly trying to obtain.
But no fucking clue.
But yeah, like we said, dude, like we said at Mean Max over a year ago, if we had a mission, we'd get things done.
A year ago yesterday.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, seriously. A year ago, 366 days ago.
I was going to share the picture. It showed up in my timeline. I was like, oh.
Dude, 366 days ago, we realized then and there, as someone asked us as we were setting up, so what's your end game? Fuck if we know. If we had a mission, we'd get things done.
Yeah.
We're giving away. I was paying, dude. I find it so just, in hindsight now, so crazy how much money I was giving away in trivia.
You deserve a tax write-off, man.
We're doing it again. Yeah. As soon as the wedding's over, fest is over, all major expenses are over.
Yep.
Or until we sell out to a corporate sponsorship that will give us free things to give out. Daddy's busting his wallet out again.
I will sell out.
Oh yeah,
for $100 million.
That's well. When we first talked about this in 2019, do you remember what you said your selling price was?
No.
10 million.
Inflation. Rent's too damn high,
Dude,
bro.
Rent is too damn high. And I mean, I remember one of our first conversations we had as we were all like literally like just kicking in like $20 each to buy shirts to sell and stickers and shit. I remember we were probably all stoned as shit, basically saying, you know, we could be the next Vice but better.
Yes. And that's where I would love to see us move, because personally I really would love to create that original stuff that we're talking about, and that we're planning. We're trying to work there, and but you know, it's one foot in front of the other, and soon enough you'll be walking out the door, just like they say in that one Christmas movie.
Yeah, actually, they had a whole song written about it. Actually.
Yeah, great movie. I don't even know what it's called. It's one of my favorites.
It's either Santa Claus is Coming to Town or Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Santa Claus.
Yeah, but I don't remember which one it is, but I believe Fred Astaire played the mailman, who was kind of like the narrator through the whole thing. Did not realize Fred Astaire was also a dancer.
Is he a line dancer though?
Is he a line dancer?
Which we will
I
get
don't
into.
know.
I got to experience line dancing here. I got to meet the great Kevin Richards, and it is so cool how Putnam Place has this whole different crowd that comes in here every single Wednesday night to do line dancing. I did not know what to expect. I was expecting like some yees and some haws and I had to do some line dancing when I was going to Warrensburg in 3rd grade. They like made it part of the gym. Like that
used to be part of the curriculum.
Is that what they did in Washington County too?
Fort Ann, no.
Well, we had to do it. So I was like, it wasn't like that. It was more simplified, and it was very like.
What was your first time? It was your first time line dancing in 20-something years.
I had to dust off the cobwebs, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just like basically what happens here at Putnam Place when they're doing line dancing is Kevin Richards comes in, he teaches everybody for the first half hour to 45 minutes how to line dance, and then he has everybody out here on the floor in a line. This whole floor is filled with like 60 to 70 people, all line dancing synchronized.
Yeah.
And some dances have 2 separate dances in one dance.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. And the country music selection, I hate country music, but this country music had like some groove to it. It was more rock and roll than country. I was like, good stuff, Kevin. If that's what you're spinning on the radio, man, I'll tune in. But I just, I was like.
Frankie Cavone, at the age of 29, discovers country music, realizes it's not all bad.
Not all bad. It sounds like a good The Onion article right there.
Please tell me that they played Boot, Scoot, and Boogie.
They could have. I wouldn't have known.
What? That is an iconic country music staple.
I would just like, it was like families here. It was like people like 50 or older. It was a completely different crowd. Not a lot of people drinking here. A lot of water drinkers. So it's if you are not even like if you're not the type of person who likes to go out to a bar even, this is a perfect place for you to come to because Putnam Place is open after, earlier in the day. This is one of the events that you can come at like 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock where you're just getting out of work and you're stressed out. You know what? Got to kick those legs and do some line dancing.
Take off those dress shoes and throw on them cowboy boots.
And it's and I got to say, I brought this up many times. I can be closed-minded to things or ideas or concepts that I'm not necessarily comfortable or prone to at that point in time. But when after like joking around and saying yeehaw many times on this podcast, I actually was like, wow, these guys are doing something really cool for their own community.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, Kevin. And I would love to have Kevin Richards here on the podcast. I did ask him. I hope that he does take it up because he seems like he has a wealth of knowledge. He's been in this industry for so long, and he does great things. So shout out, Kevin.
Kevin Richards, you're a real one. Also, while we're thanking members of Adirondack Broadcasting, we'll love to thank your friend and mine, Jake Thomas, their, I believe, current general manager, who back, I don't know, a month before the inaugural run of Wild in the Trees, I went up to him with $500 and said, hey, promote the music festival. And he said, okay. And it was a really cool thing for one, because Adirondack Broadcasting, granted I couldn't name every single channel because they have a lot of stations, but at this point in time they have a classic country and a modern country station, and they're also the home for Buffalo Bills Radio. I believe that's Fox Sports. So we were able to get our message across in a very affordable manner to thousands and thousands of people in the really, I believe their broadcast reaches like toga to tie. So like, only imagine how many people tuned in and heard us talking about this harebrained, poorly thought out, awesome idea. And Kevin Richards and Jake Thomas helped us out with that a lot, and that's
wow.
They're real ones, man. I'd love to have them both on. They would make for they would make for a fun podcast.
If the mics are good, it might even be the best sounding podcast because these guys, I mean, and just like you got that natural voice for radio, like that like punchy, like every time I'm like recording the audio, I like gotta like boost my voice like in treble and bass because I'm like, hey guys, and then you're like, hello. Welcome to the Cheap Flights, and it's just like it's the dynamicness in your voice that I think does make for great talk.
Can I let you in on a little secret?
What's up?
I fucking hate how I sound. Like listening to my voice, fucking hate it, dude.
I think like I said, you got it, dude. You're a natural aficionado.
Dude, I know, and I know there's a lot of there's a science behind it, especially that the way you hear yourself is different than the way like listening to yourself like in a recording is. Something to do with like a bass plate in your fucking skull or something. You basically have an extra bass amp in your brain, setting all the groovy parts of your voice, and kind of 86ing the high end. But I don't know.
Would you say that's what led you to playing bass in college?
Well, I'll tell you why I started playing bass.
Let's hear it.
I was 15 years old, and I had these friends who are now I don't associate with them, so henceforth referred to as Scumbag and Scumbag. It was a band called Highway 69, and I told them when they were a two-piece, said, "Listen, you tell me what I can do to join the band, and I'll do it. I have $150 burning a hole in my pocket. I will buy an instrument and I will learn." And they said, "Buy a bass." So I did. And I still have it at home. I bought a bigger, badder amp that I fucking love, just waiting for a band to take me in, or more importantly, have the time to join a band that will take me in.
Yeah.
But so it all started. I started playing bass because they needed to fill in. They needed someone, and they just wanted that extra core sound. Not every two-piece band can sound like the White Stripes. And it was awesome, dude. We got to play, I mean, high point of my music playing career, we got to play at the Monopole. And
so sick.
Dude,
man.
we opened up for Soul Junction.
I like it.
Which that part is infinitely awesome. I hope Eric Marcus, Ryan Ackerman, and the third guy are doing okay out there. And as for the former members of Highway 69, because I feel like at least one of you is probably finding a way to tune into this. Fuck yourself. That is my only petty message left for the day.
Sorry, we let it all out.
I think we did.
This is kind of therapeutic in a way. And we brought up Soul Junction. I gotta, shout out Eric Marcus. He's doing great things. He's killing it in his job field. Shout out Sly Fox, who's right behind us, the greatest guitarist in all of the Capital Region.
Certified
when he's
hustler.
on stage at Putnam Place and everywhere else.
Wait, what does Eric Marcus do?
Eric Marcus, I think he works in, and I'm sorry, Eric, if you are watching this, but I think he works in environmental field.
I thought so. I was gonna say geologist, but I thought that was a little off.
And then Mark Hendricks, man, is crushing
Mark Hendricks.
it. He is crushing
the third?
it. He's a drummer.
He was the drummer, yeah.
And he, I'm sorry for not remembering your group, but he's been like doing EDM stuff, live EDM with drums and like instruments, and he's been like selling out like small clubs in Colorado.
Wow, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. He like came back like over. I don't know why I know this shit, but like he came back home like over like Christmas break. I think he played a gig at the Haunt in Ithaca, which is a fucking sick venue.
Dude, fantastic.
Or it was either the Haunt or Flower City Station. I can't remember which one. But shout out. And then Ryan, I know he was like traveling a lot, but they had this one song called Frank.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they named it after me. And I felt like in conversation, like Eric Marcus said something like that, but it could have been about anybody. But
a lot of Franks out there. There wasn't a lot of Franks in our time at Plattsburgh.
No, but like it used to be called something else, and then they changed the name
to Frank.
And I don't know why, but like I remember when it happened because in college I would never go to parties by myself, but because like at that point in time it was my junior year, I felt like I knew the student base a little more.
Yeah.
I went to a party on South Cat. On South Cat. It was like the house before the hockey house. I forgot what it was called, but there used to be like pong upstairs, like music downstairs. It was two places from actually where my first college apartment was in Plattsburgh. But at that time, my budget was $20 for the weekend. What did that get me? Got me a pack of Eagle 20s, and it got me 5 natty ices, and then I figured out how to get my greenery at that point in time. But thank you, work study. So I would buy I would buy a 15-pack Natty Daddies, Natty
brick,
Ices.
the whole brick.
I would buy the whole brick from Elaine. Shout out, they're getting renovated right now.
And then sell. The Elaine's being renovated.
It's being renovated right now. Somebody posted a picture.
Why fix what isn't fucking broken?
I don't know. I used to honestly get sandwiches from there sometimes, and it wasn't too bad.
Really?
Yeah.
You know where I never ordered food from, but because I was always too busy buying beer there, because it was the closest to Zook's Deli, which never sold beer, and I thought that was weird.
It is weird.
Chuck Wagon.
Chuck Wagon. You get the
99-cent Jenny Cream 40s.
Disgusting. But
Fantastic.
it'll do the job in
Get
college.
drunk for $3, brother.
But back to my story. I was, so I would go and I would buy the 15 pack. And my goal would be like, okay, I could have 5 a night. 5 is too much. But
Yeah.
if I hit 4, I was like, I'm blacking out. Maybe. So I'm at a party by myself. Never go party by myself. I'm slugging these fucking things. Because like at that point, like I'm not as comfortable in my skin as I am now. Like I definitely was more of a shy guy. And so I was on like my 3rd and a half natty ice. This random chick comes up to me and she says, "Can I kiss you? And I'll never see you again." And before I even said anything,
She just did it.
she just started making out with me, and then I never saw her again. I was like, all right. And then like 20 minutes later, I'm like watching, like this is all downstairs at this fucking party. I'm like downstairs, watching Soul Junction, and all of a sudden, I feel like I'm gonna puke. I like cracked into the 4th can already, and there was nowhere for me to puke. Like I would have not made it upstairs and outside to puke in time. So by the graces of God, I ran to the corner of this place while everybody is watching the show, which is not this big basement. I just run to the dark corner, start puking my brains out in this basement. Nobody saw me.
Wow.
Not a single person saw me, and then I proceeded to continue to drink beer and watch the show.
Was it a good show?
It was a good show.
Fantastic.
It was a
God.
good one. But that bringing up Soul Junction, I just
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah. No, I love their sound. Their whole album, Homemade, is just a great album. It's a nice ambient music. You don't have to put full attention into it, but you can still appreciate there's the groove of it.
yeah.
But hey, dude, we all have those shows from that time in our life where it's like you could tell someone every single piece of that day. Like you could say, "Oh my God, my first Metallica concert, MetLife Stadium. I was wearing my favorite Skate and Destroy hoodie. My Metallica CD was scratched on the way, so I had to listen to the CKY soundtrack instead." Like, and the power of a good show really like goes a long way in so many ways. And if you really like good shows, boy, do I have a plug for you, Frankie.
Let's hear it.
Because our partners at Putnam Place have closed the tab on my phone. No. So, March 17th, 9 p.m. Do you like dogs? I hope you like a bunch of them, especially if they're in a pile, with special guest Haley Jane.
Yes, and they're going to be playing together on stage, which I found out. And we will be
no kidding.
doing, it's going to be awesome.
Dude, fuck yeah.
And we're going to be doing a podcast live. So if you want to come on the show on Friday, come early when doors open. I'm going to be hanging out with Sly Fox. We're going to be talking to the guys and dogs at a pile. And we're just going to be shooting the shit and talking some shit about people walking in the door.
Yeah.
It's always fun. In a very kind way, obviously.
Yeah, I think there's a good art to like gently like not fucking haymaker level shit talking, but like
Ball busting.
little jab.
Yeah, a little jab,
Yeah.
right?
And if you're not too hungover from that epic St. Patrick's Day set, you can sober up with some drag queen bingo the next day. 3 words I never thought I would say together. The last time I was so surprised at the 3-word combination: prison rodeo poker.
Wow.
Real thing.
Sounds like
in
something you would see on Wheel of Fortune. Have to spell out.
It's actually a real thing in Angola prison in Louisiana.
Wow.
Like the fact that it isn't like human rights violations in so many ways is crazy. But goddamn, it makes for great content. But yeah,
definitely come out.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
bingo's fun.
the bingo part, yeah, is fantastic.
And drag, if drag's your thing, hey, Putnam Place is this is a place for everybody.
Yeah,
man. Come have a good time.
Yeah. Like, this is the only place where you could have line dancing, drag queen bingo, and when the weather gets nicer, Latin night, open mic night. Like, this is the mecca for all walks of life and all forms of entertainment, and just a community level manner of, getting down and
Definitely
having fun.
And big shout out to Sly Fox and co for just being the people behind making shit like that happen. This place, I'm sure many of you guys too look at this place as a jam band place, and it really isn't. There's so much other shit going on. Definitely stay tuned and look at the Putnam Place schedule on the website. But what else we got, man?
Well, as I look at the Putnam Place schedule on the website, up next, March 20th, every Monday, Sly Fox's open mic jam. Are you a fledgling musician? You just want to play in front of a couple people? You want to hang out with some fellow musicians? Do you have a stand-up set you've really been trying to work the kinks out of? Well, this is the time to do it. There's no professionals here, well, except for Sly Fox. He is in a band after all. But it's a great, and I've been meaning to make a trek out. I've heard only good things. I've heard a very inclusive, very fun environment. And March 22nd, if you're not celebrating my brother's 24th birthday, you better be here for another epic night of line dancing with Adirondack Broadcasting's own Kevin Richards. After that, the 24th is Honeysuckle Vine, Tops of Trees, Kyla Silk. That's a name I haven't heard in a while. Kyla Silk and the House of Saturn.
Oh, cool. Okay. We've got some Listen Up nominees in there in that lineup.
I totally knew that.
Yeah, House of Saturn got nominated this year. Kyla Silk got nominated for an award this year. Congratulations. Cool. We got some great local acts coming here. Nice.
Yeah.
March 22nd, you said?
That was March 24th.
March 24th.
And then, obviously, Mondays and Wednesdays, staple nights of jamming out and line dancing. To end the month of March, Barely Dead. As you can imagine, it's a Grateful Dead tribute band.
A
not gonna lie.
fucking really good one, too.
If Frankie says they're good, I take it.
I vow them. Yeah, they're fucking sick.
April 6th, we have Tropidelic. Love the name. Couldn't tell you anything about them. With special guest Joey Harcum. Am I saying that correctly? Harcum.
Okay.
April 7th, The Lizards performing the music of Fish. That is
I gotta say, I like their approach to covering Fish, because where Pink Talking Fish just straight up annihilates Fish out of it and goes and does their own thing with the song. I think what do you call it? The Lizards do a great, they're like Dark Star Orchestra for Fish. They perform it to a T. I remember one night I was at the Hollow on something. I don't know what I was doing, but I was at the Hollow.
But I was there.
And I was listening to them play Chalk Dust, and I heard these specific notes in a specific jam from a specific night of a specific year. And I asked the guy after, I was like, is this Chalk Dust from Baker's Dozen? He's like, yeah, we learned it to a T. I was like, you're fucking crazy.
That is a very impressive level of not just appreciation for how unique each set is, but also just shows you the talent of them as a group.
Not that it matters.
Not that it
but they're
matters.
Canadian too. They're coming from Toronto.
You lost me.
They're making all the way down here. It's an 8-hour drive. You can drive 30 minutes from wherever you're coming from, or less.
Yeah. Hey, as we go, that was the Lizards. April 7th. April 8th, Lucid, but spelled Luzcid.
Yep, so Lucid Street. Not the same band as Lucid.
Like the Monopole House band?
Yeah, so I actually don't know much about them, but if you do go, tell us about it. We'd like to hear about it.
Yeah, they're on their Illusions tour. Unfortunately, that is
actually, I got to give a shout out. I believe Shane Spillinger is the one promoting that. If Sugar Productions is the one behind that, shout out Shane.
I don't see anything.
Okay.
But, yeah, and then... obviously, Monday and Wednesday, April 10th and 12th, open mic and line dancing. April 10th is a special one because that's your boy's birthday, and I need a place to get belligerently drunk and have someone drive me home. Maybe this is your opportunity to brush out that stand-up set you've been waiting to try out, work on that guitar riff, and buy me all the drinks you can afford. And that is a perfect trifecta and a very, very safe, fun, just eclectic is the word I've been trying to find. Eclectic environment in Putnam Place. And then April 19th, the last one we'll talk about.
Well, I don't even need to say it. Who's playing?
Well,
and who's playing with him?
Oh, right. Yeah, I should probably answer that. Dopapod with special guest Baked Shrimp.
Baked Shrimp.
Baked motherfucking Scrimpies.
We got Dopapod returning. Last time they were here, they played for their first set. They played a one-song set. They played Pink Floyd Echoes for 57 minutes.
Is
which
that
was epic. Like I got.
what?
Yeah. 50s.
How long is studio version of Echoes?
I believe it's a longer ambient song, but you know, they're a jam band. And I believe Rob Comp is heavily influenced by Gilmore and Co. So it makes sense. But every
Sure.
time Dopapod comes here, they crush it. One of those household names in the jam band industry that I think I owe a lot to, because they were one of the bands that helped me start liking jam bands, and they're like Slayer to me. They don't change they don't change who they are. Yeah, while that you could change who you are and receive more success, they stuck to their guns. They said their sound is signature, and you can't replicate what they're doing. Shout out Eli, shout out Neil, shout out Chuck, shout out Rob C.
Be sure you pull up on your bicycle, because it is on bicycle day.
It is on bicycle day. Make sure you don't eat for 24 hours, but drink a lot of water, because you could get dehydrated.
Yeah, you're gonna need a lot of it. And I'm just gonna. This is not a Putnam Place gig, but this gig means a lot to me and to a lot of people, more so in the Glens Falls music scene. Shoe, their 30th anniversary show, the Park Theater, April 15th. Not the Wood Theater. I got that wrong the first time I told people about it.
Tax day.
Tax Day is April 18th this year.
Oh, they moved it.
They moved it a couple of days to give people a little bit more time to like cheat how much they're writing off, and to like claim children they don't have, and to commit greater levels of tax fraud I can only aspire to. But if you get your taxes back in a timely manner, like I did, you can go see Shoe. It's going to be a great time. Seriously, just a couple of days ago was the 30th anniversary of them and their first time in a studio. They grew up roughly in the same generation as when the Ominous C-Pods were touring around, and they toured with the C-Pods a lot.
Wow.
In both of their early stages. I don't even think the C-Pods had quite dropped out of Plattsburgh yet.
Wow, okay. Definitely go check out Shoe, April 15th, Park Theater, beautiful venue, located right across the street from Burger King. So make sure, skip the Whopper, skip the Double Whopper, go straight for the Bacon King, best menu item. Make sure to ask for lettuce, tomato, onion. Sorry, not sorry.
With all of the subtle plugs we've given to corporate entities, you'd think that eventually we'd get some kind of royalty, some kind of kickback. Maybe we could buy new mics or something.
We could, but
hey,
we should go anti-establishment for our sponsor of the week. Our sponsor of the week this week is David Van Scoy, who has great musical taste and just a hell of a supporter and likes going to concerts. So 3 cheers to Dave Van Scoy.
Yes, Dave, thank you for not only grabbing me a signed poster with all of the members of Mo while I was busy learning how to use a robotic camera. Thank you for also reminding me that we recorded Karina Reichman's set, which, watch that. That's fucking killer.
It is. Got some sit-ins on there, and just some of her original music. Really cool, and it's new and it's refreshing.
Yeah, and I mean this in the best way possible. Karina Reichman's sound, you cannot put her in a box.
No.
She's not, like, if a gun was pointed to my head and someone said, I need you to define Karina Reichman, I'd say,
no, that's it.
yeah, exactly.
She could get poppy, and then she could get headbanging.
Yeah.
Like, I will say that City Kids song, and I'm not saying it because Vinny and Jim sat in on it. I was like really into that one.
Yeah.
Very good groove.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, definitely elements of jam, elements of like, I don't know, like that early 2000s goth vibe.
Yeah.
Which is weird because we had the chance to talk to her for a split second when we were up in our, they gave us a dressing room, which is pretty sweet. Came with a sink but no toilet. But we got to talk with Karina Reichman for like 5-6 minutes. She was basically just walking up and down the hall, practicing her bass lines and stuff. And me being, between the two of us, me being the one who's ignorant to most things going on, for one, did not realize that there was an opening act day 2, and was blown the fuck away. And I think that's something that I've really liked about our journey together, is that there's a lot of bands that I have heard of through you, and I have seen things about them just through like the Facebook algorithm, and then I see them for the first time, and it's like I feel like I'm 7 years old again. Like I'm looking up into the sky for the first time and seeing cool clouds, and it's just solid grooves, awesome sound in general, and good people.
Yeah, and that's where back to our fucking point
That we said we were done talking about.
Yeah,
We're not done talking about.
we fucking really appreciate these opportunities that come along, and it's really cool to just like go and see a show, and then like 5-6 years later be working for that band, and like and man, I would never do anything or give up this really great opportunity that we have, and we want to just continue it along, and so like it's just really fucking cool to like get to experience that. And like I was nervous when Karina was talking. I'd never like had a talk. I'd never talked to her. Like I would send her her like pictures like because she's in Marco Benevento. I would send her like
She's what?
She's in the group Marco Benevento. Marco Benevento is a keyboardist in JRAD.
Shit. Okay.
He has his own band.
Okay.
But that's how she got her. I think, I don't know. But so I would like communicate her by sending her like Dropbox of like pictures that I took of the show that night, and it was just cool to finally meet her and like it be a full circle thing, you know.
Yeah. Whereas for me, as I said, 10 minutes before meeting her, I found out who she was, and she was a really genuine person off the stage, and yeah, I can't say a bad thing about her.
No.
I want her bass guitar. It would really go well with my collection.
White bass with a gold top, really snazzy looking.
Dude, seriously, snazzy, good SAT
Snazzy.
word.
I like it.
Yeah.
So we're actually, I can't believe we are about to break an hour here, but we are, and I think it's time to talk about what we've been consuming.
I have been consuming a lot of soup this week. A lot of good soups this week. I think 3 different times I had a homemade cream of mushroom soup.
Wow.
Which I thoroughly enjoy a lot. It's not my favorite soup, but especially during the winter, it's soup season. Very few things mesh as well as a nice hot soup and a nice grilled cheese. Media-wise, what did I listen to? I listened to Sublime with Rome earlier today.
Okay, cool.
Couldn't even tell you why or what the context was. I listened to a little bit of Candy Ambulance because local band that I've always had fond memories of, and I feel like I was one of like those young fanatics who didn't know shit about music but was like, these guys are cool and I like their sound. I'm gonna pay money to go see them. I think that's really been it for music. It's not been a big music week for me. Video games. Shit. My brain feels like TV static right now. Video games. I started playing this game Dan the Man again, which is kind of like a spoof of like the Karate Kid type things.
Okay.
And you're going against, but instead of going against like Cobra Kai, you're going against like a counter revolution, and you're essentially karate chopping terrorists. And somehow it works. Movies. I showed Taylor Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Oh, nice. Great movie to watch with your spouse.
Yeah, it was a great spousal, like, true crime is for lovers, but drug-induced gonzo journalism films are for fiancés.
That's right.
We've graduated in the genre of films we watch, and I can't wait to see what married films look like, because the next one on the list is probably going to be like Easy Rider.
Okay. Nice.
I don't know. But what about you, man? What's your media thing been like as of late, aside from watching the Mo Weekend about 13 times?
Yeah. So I guess we'll start. Yeah. So I've been. I can't wait for you guys. By the time this episode comes out, it will finally be out. the episodes would have premiered on Monday and Tuesday this week. The shows, I'm saying that on the Mo YouTube channel. But yeah, I've been listening to that, man. I'll tell you, that band, for me, like, I love them so much, and that's why, like, god damn, like, it was really like an honor to, like, even be on the like in a working situation with them, because I bleed Mo, like, and I can't tell you how much fucking times I've listened to them, seen them, like, and it just, so watching it for me and being able to produce something and have help like from you and Chris, and to make something greater than what I would have been able to do on my own. Like, I'm so proud of these videos. I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of Chris. I was really like,
still waiting on that check.
I was like, I was just really like, I don't know, like, very pleased, because I compared it to what other venue you would see at, like, the Capitol Theater. I was like, that's this level? Wow, we did that? Like, felt really good. Just because it helped me prove to myself too, like, hey, we can make some fucking great shit. And I can be okay with asking for help sometimes, because you fucking crushed it, dude. That robotic camera was insane. Like,
dude,
and then
I want
Chris's shots.
I want 7 of those fucking things.
Yeah, that's the plan, man. 10,000 didgeridoos. We're gonna get 10,000 PTZ cameras.
Yeah.
So don't pick your nose. Watching. I've been watching. I only got one shout out for watching this week. It's Black with No Cream. It's a YouTube channel. It's just coincidence that it's the coffee I like drinking, but it is a media-based podcast focused around live music photographers and videographers. And
very niche.
It is.
I like
and
that.
they'll like follow like a photographer. Like they had this one like famous photographer who's like the tour photographer for the Chainsmokers, who was he was literally like took the people filming the video everywhere, going throughout his process. And I really want to start doing stuff like that, because I thought if I watched that video like 6 years ago, I could have been like really visualizing how things really work, and like caught my brain up a little more, and could have learned something. Listening. I've been listening to the Donnas, one of the greatest female rock bands in modern times. Go and check them out. If you don't know who the Donnas are, they were huge in the mid-2000s, and they have some great rock music.
Who's your favorite member?
I couldn't tell you. They're probably all Donna.
I would say mine's Donna.
But they're awesome. I highly recommend them to you. I thought it was great kick-ass music.
I will listen to them on the way home.
Too Bad About Your Girl. That's the one I was like, this song is like...
Too Bad About Your Girl.
It's so good. And then Social Distortion. I've been listening to some Social Distortion. Their first album kicks ass. They got a cover of the song Ring of Fire.
Yeah.
Really good cover too. I was like, wow, it's like a 3-chord song. You could probably learn that on my guitar. Yeah. So maybe we'll include it in the 24-hour podcast. I love that song. I also have been playing guitar a lot lately to prepare for the 24-hour podcast. And God, I
gotta start singing again.
I want to learn. I want to figure out how to play "That's Life" in a guitar chord progression, comfortable with my playing. So I just like that song, and the guy who wrote the song is a great first name. So, and then playing, I beat Saints Row finally. It seems like I'm beating the game a week again, and I beat it. The game got bad reviews, but I don't think it's as bad as people say. Like, if you can ignore a lot of the stuff, and you like doing like how like in some of the mobile games you play, some of the tasks are tedious, but it's like fun, like to like get through and like accomplishing, you know. So it's got that. It's still got that feel of Saints Row. It's just a little dry, but I mean, it does take place in the desert. And then
very nice.
COD Modern Warfare, not the Modern Warfare that was made in 2007, but the reboot that came out in 2018 or 2019 that kind of takes a look into Captain Price's life prior to the scenarios that happened in the original Modern Warfare 1 through 3 series. Yeah. And the game is actually really fun. Graphics are amazing, and it's a little stealthy, which is kind of cool. And I don't know, definitely a good experience. minus the downloading of like 17 like install packs just to play one fucking game.
Yeah.
Like no other Call of Duty had made me do that until that one. And I was like, why am I, this is a 200 gigabyte game. What the fuck? Like,
So I will say, I was listening to something, and obviously I don't know, I can't put a lot of stock in it because I don't know if it's true or not. But there's a lot of theories floating around that part of the reason behind the file size of these new Call of Duties is unless you have like a Mac Daddy of portable storage, you are only going to be able to realistically hold like 2 or 3 like 5 what do they call it, like 3-star like elite games like that.
Yeah.
Like I can't believe
AAA
it.
games.
AAA. AA, no, not AA, I need that. AAA. But yeah, dude, like think about it. If you have to like make the toss up between, okay, do I want to play Call of Duty where I could play campaign, I could play normal multiplayer, I could play Warzone, I could do, I think they even had like special ops missions. I don't know if that's true, but and maybe you have to make a sacrifice. Maybe you have to, I don't know, get rid of, I don't know, Minecraft or I don't know, something like.
I mean, I had to. That's why I had to beat other games. I was like, listen, I need, like,
I need like, room on this drive.
I will say, I was able to fit like 10 other games on. Not everything I play is AAA. I like to jump into retro games. And it's weird to say a PS2 game is retro, but I mean, by definition, it really is, which really says we're fucking old.
Dude, yeah.
But
30 is creeping up on us, man.
I'm going to be 30 in fucking like 3 months. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm looking forward, I don't really give a fuck. But there are certain things that I would still like to accomplish by a certain age that I realize I can't do everything all the time. Like that's why like bringing back the quality over quantity, I think I would get more satisfaction if we put more time into things. And we have been, like this podcast, like, you know, pre-planning for some of our events that we have coming up. And we're really excited. We're really fucking excited about this year's Wild in the Trees. And just because there's a lot more involved this year, we learned last year. We proved to ourselves that we can handle that level of pressure. And I think that makes it,
and that was when we didn't know what we were doing.
No, and I feel a little better about that going into this year. Like we have our connections for who the people we want to work with. We got our team. We got Chris Senzik.
We have Chris Senzik. The only thing we need now is your money.
Yes, because half of it will go somewhere to a great charity. And we are making a big announcement about this April 4th or April 6th. I will pop the actual date. But we will be sharing some information about this year's Wild in the Trees, so stay tuned. And I just feel like I had a fire relit under my ass for the wrong reasons this week, and god damn, I cannot wait to just put that pent up feeling into my camera and just take some fucking awesome photos this week, man. That's really it.
Dude, sorry, I forgot. We never talked about the fucking horrific fast I went through. The meal that broke my fast after 36 hours. Taco Bell.
That's a good one.
They're
You said it readily available. I was like, oh, you had a hot dog.
Like, no, I literally,
no. Microwave.
With 4 hours left, with 5 or 6 hours left, I went to the drive-thru, bought like 3 or 4 burritos, kept them in the bag, set them in my fridge, and was like setting a fucking alarm. The first thing I'm doing is eating them. It was great. I originally was going to try and do a fast every Friday. I'm not going to do that, but I think I am going to start randomly picking Fridays and just fasting again.
There you go. Or just eat fish.
Or
You're not
see
supposed
fish.
to eat meat on Fridays. You should know that.
I am a Catholic.
And fish is good. Go get a Ted's fish fry. Come on. Tartar? Let's go. Are you a tartar or do you like the cocktail sauce?
It depends on the fish. Shrimp, cocktail. Haddock, cocktail.
All right, we're ending this podcast.
No, I'm fucking around. No, I'm
just kidding.
No,
I don't know.
Good tartar sauce, but it's got to be Ken's. Ken's tartar is a godsend. We get it by like the 5-gallon drum at Peter's.
I gotta say, man, I gotta change the sponsor. Dave, I'm sorry, it's going to Ken's.
Yeah,
Ken's makes the best dressings of all time, from gracing your Reubens, from gracing your
wings,
your wings.
your
My God,
fish.
the best
Dude.
Russian dressing is Ken's Russian dressing,
Yeah.
and it sounds like I gotta try some fucking Ken's tartar.
Dude,
So on that note,
we're gonna make that happen.
I'm gonna go get a fish fry. Brett's gonna go put on a backpack, and we're gonna go hustle. And yes, what do you got to do, Brett? Other than watching the podcast every Wednesday at 7 p.m. and listen to it on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, mirth-films.com for the articles, and YouTube subscribe. What do you got to do?
Gotta call my mom and tell her I love her. I gotta go do commercial cleaning to help pay for the wedding, and then, well, I mean, still putting in the footwork to try and secure people's money. And when all that is done, I can kick back in the comfort of my own porch, not inside the house because I'm classy. And if I got him, I'm gonna smoke him.
Smoke them if you got them, guys. This has been episode 38 of the Chief Flights and Cornbread podcast. Thank you all for tuning in.